Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Dzieselbloem, can we see progress today on the Greek situation? Can we see debt relief by the end of this meeting?
You're jumping to conclusions. No, we'll just take stock of the process which is still going on in Athens. As you know, the Greek government's talking to our institutions about the design of the pension reform, some fiscal issues, and they need to reach an agreement. I think a lot of work has already been done. More homework is being prepared by both sides, and on that basis work will continue. So there were some rumors in the press that the process had derailed. I'm absolutely convinced that that's wrong. The process is continuing, and quite a lot of ground has already been covered. So I'm optimistic that we'll find a good outcome.
At this moment, all the main European markets are falling down. Do you expect any debate about the market and about the banking hub?
As always, we take stock of the economic situation, and I'm sure that today there will be some remarks also about the more acute situation in markets. They're very volatile, so I'm not sure whether there is a more structural conclusion to draw from that. I believe that in the Eurozone, structurally, we are in a much better place than we were some years ago, and that also goes for our banks.
Are you worried about the banking market turmoil in general and about the health of Deutsche Bank in particular?
No, I don't have an opinion about individual banks. We have independent supervisors to look at that, and I'm sure that they do and will. I think that the process of continuing strengthening of the banks will go on. We've put the banking union in place, we've put new regulations in place, and the markets need to adjust to that. Maybe that's part of the issue at the moment. I think that the process of building the banking union and then making it stronger is key. And from an EU presidency, that's exactly what we're going to do in the coming months, to make the banking union even stronger.
And on Portugal, what are your expectations?
Shall I go that way? Because I believe there are some Portuguese colleagues on that side. So we can do Portugal in one go.
What do you think of the Portuguese draft budget?
We're going to discuss it today. As you know, there has been a process between the Portuguese government and the Commission on the budget, and the Commission has now come to an opinion, which is that they accept this budget but do feel that there is a risk. This is a normal procedure in the sense that the Portuguese budget is not the first and not the only one with a risk of non-compliance. The basic rules there are always that Portugal needs to stand ready, if necessary, to do more to stay within the pact. It's not a unique situation. We've had it with other countries, and we will follow it up later in the year on the basis of the spring forecast. And when we have that, we will return to those countries.
So you'll be asking the Portuguese minister to be ready for new measures, even taking into account that interest rates in the markets are again breaking records today.
Yes, but that would actually be another reason to be quite concise and to be committed to the economic policy of the monetary union and the budget rules of the monetary union. So I've heard the new government in Lisbon say that they are very committed to the Growth and Stability Pact and very committed to the budgetary rules that we have. And that commitment is very important. That is, I think, a signal of confidence. And we hope to hear that again from the minister today. Thanks a lot.
You've called it unstable still.
Thanks.
On transparency, your ideas on how to make the Eurogroup more transparent?
I think this is just a normal thing of these times. Everyone's asking for more transparency, which I think is right. I think it's also an issue of democratic legitimacy. People want to know what the decisions are that we take, on what basis and with what arguments. So we're going to put out a more informative agenda, an annotated agenda in advance, and a summary letter with more information after the meetings, and hope to make as many documents public as soon as possible after our meetings, so that the public is also informed on the work that we do. I think that's just a normal democratic way to work, even in an informal group like the Eurogroup.
Has this something to do with the British demands and working better with non-Euro countries?
No, not really, because the non-Euros are always informed on our work during ECOFIN breakfast. I always debrief the colleagues from the non-Euro countries. No, my aim is to inform the public much more in the Euro countries. because some of the decisions that we take, for example, on programs, have, of course, a major impact in the situation in different member states. The discussions that we have on budgets has a major impact on member states, and I think we need to be as transparent as possible on how we do our work. And I think that's just a modern way to work in as democratic and open as possible. Thanks. As you know, the Greek government's talking to our institutions about I believe there are some Portuguese colleagues on that side.